But let's just talk about the most important thing that you can have in your kitchen, whether you cook a little or a lot, and that's a knife. Because even if you're doing DoorDash or Uber, a good knife, or I should say a sharp knife, is a safe knife. But let's just talk about the value for a moment. Zwilling Henckels is arguably the most recognized, heralded, awarded name in knives in the world. They've been around for hundreds of years. Their knives are still kept under lock and key. If you go to the big, knife stores or kitchen shows, I wish I had more time. I could spend a whole half hour on this, because let me just talk about the value proposition for a moment. This is your 7-inch Santoku. Now, what's interesting is I have sold this on the air with John Florell on sale for $79.99. It was on hsn.com right now for $89.99, but it's sold out, okay? $89.99, just the Santoku knife. The chef's knife, Zwilling Henckels, go to hsn.com right now, I looked it up before my show. Your chef's knife is selling for $129.99. Are you with me so far? So basically, for about $30 less than you would spend on the chef's knife, we'll include the Santoku that's sold out for $89 on hsn.com. We will include this beautiful fillet knife, again, with a lifetime warranty, fully forged, the handles, the whole shebango. We will include the serrated knife, again, all basically for free and $30 less than you're spending for the chef's knife. Your paring knife, kitchen shears that absolutely I love, and I kind of buried the lead because the whole purchase is worth it just for this beautiful block. Because this is not just a way to keep your knives organized. In fact, Brenda, I'll try to do it this way. Do you see how each area is labeled? Now there's a methodology to this, not only so you don't forget where they go, but this block, are you ready for this? Will sharpen your knives every time you use them. Now that means it's like getting a new knife every time you use it. But here's what is better than that. If you took your knife to the knife sharpening guy or gal, they still cannot return that knife to factory issued sharpness. Do you realize this calibrated self-sharpening block, meaning the chef's knife is calibrated to a certain level, the paring knife is calibrated, the utility, the Santoku, the shear, they are all calibrated to not only sharpen every time they put it in the block, but to return it pretty much to at or near basically like factory standards. Of course, we can't do these shows without John Florell. And John, you know I love you. You are always the sharpest tool in the kitchen. Okay, you always have so many great one-liners. I had to at least throw one in there.
I can't, listen, I won't fit in your kitchen drawer. That's the problem, okay? But when you're looking for a good set of sharp knives and quality, that's when you reach for the Henckels brand. And Henckels knives have been around since 1731. It's one of the oldest brands in the world. Yeah, this little symbol right here, that means quality, okay? And ask any professional chef, Henckels knives are the gold standard in cutlery. Now, I got to show you, you mentioned all the knives that come in the set, and you mentioned just that chef's knife that's on .com for more than this entire set is going for. Let's face it, all new knives are sharp, Shannon, and this one's no exception. I can take a tomato and just drop it on that blade, and it cuts it. So, knives, the problem with a knife is after you cut the food, your knife hits your countertop, your cutting board, plates, dishes, and these are the things that are going to dull your knives over time. But take a look at this. I mean, all you do is touch it and it cuts it. I mean, that's a razor sharp knife. The problem is, after they go dull, what do? We used to use these old, steel sharpeners like this, a steel stick. And I got to tell you, I am really good at sharpening knives, okay? Professional knife sharpeners and chefs may be able to get this knife back to about 85% of its factory sharpness using a stone like this or a steel. But in the knife block that comes with your set today, and this is a beautiful ashwood stained knife block that has a stainless steel cap, and each knife sharpens as you slide it in and take it back out. It's self-sharpened, so you will never have a dull knife again. So whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, all you're going to do is move that knife and it's going to slice like a hot knife goes through butter. Now, whether you're slicing your vegetables and fruits, or, you know, during the holidays, we're carving our ham, our turkey, our roast beef. I'll tell you what, when it comes to carving, you're not going to find a better carving knife than the Zwilling Henckels chef's knife. And I got to tell you, these slices are paper thin. You can do them as thin as you like. You can do them as thick as you like. But I got to tell you, there's no ripping, no tearing, no shredding. You can see that's a perfectly sliced ham. And when things are sliced uniform and even, listen, they look beautiful. They taste better for some reason. I don't know why. But this is just your chef's knife. And again, every time you replace that knife into a storage slot in the block, it sharpens itself. That Santoku knife, this knife alone on .com sold for over $80. You're getting this with the set today. And I got to tell you, this is a razor sharp knife. Look at this. I can cut right through an avocado, pit and all. And I mean, never even miss a stroke. But look at this. For chopping, mincing, dicing, what you're going to love about this knife is the blade on this knife is designed to where food will not stick to the blade. So when you're slicing, okay, things like cucumbers, or maybe it's that soft cheese, nothing sticks to the blade. So
Hey,
you
John?
can zip through your slicing and dicing quick, safe, fast, and easy, and never have to worry about cleaning that knife off.
John, as you do that real
Yes,
quickly,
Shannon.
did you hear how that knife was hitting the block? When you slice
Yes.
through that, so you have to understand, every time you hear that,
Yep.
that's dulling your
Or-
knife. But let me make sure, I'm gonna do this without my reading glasses. Do you hear this?
That's right. It sharpens itself.
So I have now returned that blade to basically at or near brand new factory standards. Hey, John, I'm just gonna take everybody to hsn.com real quickly, and then Allison, I am gonna defer. I don't even know how many of these we have because, okay, we have the last 1,000. That might sound like a lot, but we're in over 100 million homes. Let's take you to hsn.com real quickly. Actually, the chef's knife is also sold out on its own at $129.99. So any way you do the math, if you were buying the chef's knife for $129.99, completely sold out on its own, if we took $30 off and say, well, we're including that $89.99, that Santoku knife, it'd be a great deal. But remember, the chef, the Santoku, that beautiful slicing knife, the serrated, the paring, that wonderful utilitarian shears, and then that calibrated knife block. You just heard it return. It was sharpening. You heard that that fineness. Actually, John, I'm gonna defer to you. So you're the one who told me each one of those is calibrated for each blade, correct?
It is. A chef's knife is sharpened from the factory at 15 degrees, okay? And that's double honed, so that means it's from each side, okay? And by the way, this is calibrated to sharpen to 15 degrees. Now, your Santoku knife is a little bit thinner blade. And that one is calibrated at 11 degrees for a sharpness, okay? The Bloc has the sharpening stones inside are set at that perfect 11 degrees. So basically, what I'm trying to say is this knife block will keep your knives at 95% of its original factory sharpness. So whether, even a professional might be able to get it to 80%, Shannon, might be, if we're really good with a knife sharpener, might be able to get it at 70% of its factory sharpness, but this block will keep it at 95% of its factory sharpness. Now, I've shown you a couple of the knives. This utility knife, this is absolutely amazing. Look, you can take, maybe you want to butterfly pork chops or chicken breasts. All you do is push and slide, and look at this. It opens it right up for stuffing your pork chops. Or maybe you want to butterfly some chicken breasts like this. All you do is move the knife, and it cuts. One quick slice like this, and you've got a perfectly butterflied chicken breast. I mean, these knives, again, for your everyday slicing, dicing, chopping, you're gonna love them. And again, every time you cut with a knife, after you cut through the food, it hits your cutting board, your plates or dishes. And that's what dulls your knives over time. The food doesn't dull it, it's what you hit afterwards. That's why Zwilling has come up with this amazing set with the Bloc that actually sharpens your knife. So Shannon, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, every time you grab that Santoku knife and you want to cut something with it, it's going to slice just like the very first day that you bought
John,
it.
I'm so sorry. I actually have to give a quantity update. Now, a couple of things. If you are new to HSN, welcome. These are Healthy Finds. I'm Shannon, this is HSN. This was a late-breaking addition to my show. Now, that being said, the counters are real. I get that question all the time. But rather than counting up, we're actually counting down. Now, the only problem with that quantity left counter that you see at the bottom of your screen right now is it cannot factor in the hundreds of people who are joining us. Now, that being said, people could be shopping for something else, but it's likely they are shopping for this. It is, well, I can tell you for a fact, I know this will not be back at this price. So if you're one of the next 900 people, again, we have far fewer than that if we count everybody in the various forms of ordering, you still get a 30-day return policy. We are doing flex pay of $24.99. Remember, the chef's knife sold out on hsn.com for $129.99. The Santoku knife is sold out on hsn.com for $89.99. We will offer these knives separately. We just will. If you want the biggest and the best value on any Zwilling Henkel knife we've ever offered in HSN history, I really want to encourage you to do it now. John, you know, after we sell this out, and it appears likely we will sell this set out in this airing,
Right.
You and I have had Zwilling Henkel on the air before where the Bloc had empty spaces. Like as an example, the one we did before this, you did have to buy the Santoku separately, and you and I did it on the air. We're like, hey, now it's got that
Right.
empty hole in the block if you want that Santoku. It's pretty impressive. They're giving you everything, isn't it?
It really is. This is a complete set, and I'll tell you what, as a housewarming gift, a wedding shower gift, listen, it is the perfect gift to put away, and especially at this price because, listen, look around. And like you said earlier, Shannon, go to one of those fancy box stores, look at the price. Just for one of our knives, you'll pay more than you're paying for the entire set. I'll tell you what, I got to show you these kitchen shears. These you get in the set with included, okay? And if you've never used kitchen shears, these are incredible. Once you start using, you'll use them for opening up batteries. You know, those battery cases that the batteries come in that you cut yourselves opening. You never have to worry about that with these. Oh, you'll use it for cardboard boxes. You'll use it for paper and for crafting, and you'll use it for, opening your mail. But in the kitchen, look at this. I can cut right through chicken bone. I can split this chicken in half to give you a beautiful, beautiful display. I mean, 2 halves of a chicken like this, roasted chicken, that's a beautiful way to do it. And you can do that with these shears right through the bone and everything. You're getting those with your set today in that knife block. Now, I got to tell you, for things that, the thing about a sharp knife, Shannon, and we all know this, a dull knife is a dangerous knife. A sharp knife, that's a safe knife, okay? I found this is called a dino melon. I don't know if you've seen them yet or not. They're pretty cool. But look at this. I mean, you want to talk about razor sharp and you want to talk about safe. That's the size knife that you can use for slicing your melons, your watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, dino melons like this. And I'll tell you, for a bread knife, you won't find a better bread knife. All you do is move it and it cuts it. Look at that, this is one of those really super soft loaves of bread, this brioche. Look at this. It cuts it like a hot knife goes through butter.
Wow. John, always good to have you here. Thanks for stepping in to do this. I know it was a late-breaking opportunity. My best to you and your whole family. Keep those hits coming, my friend.